Let's go to Karl Rove's attacks against Elizabeth Warren. Clearly, they view her as a threat because she has been the one pointing out all the abuse of the banks. So what are you going to do? Well, his group, Crossroads GPS, is going to do an ad that is going to fearmonger. Let's see how they do it.
14 million Americans out of work. But instead of focusing on jobs, Elizabeth Warren sides with extreme left protests. At Occupy Wall Street, protesters attack police, do drugs, and trash public parks. They support radical redistribution of wealth and violence. But Warren boasts, I created much of the intellectual foundation for what they do. I support what they do. Intellectual foundation for what? We need jobs, not intellectual theories and radical protests.
Yeah, they trash the parks by actually doing the most American thing you could do, which is exercising your freedom of speech. When the Tea Party went to parks to protest, they didn't trash them. They were lovely. They attacked the police, except for all the videos we've shown you where it's the exact reverse, where the police attack them for being in the park. And then they claimed in that ad there that the Occupy Wall Street movement is in favor of violence. Really? There was a spokesperson for Occupy Wall Street that said we're in favor of violence? Nonsense. Total and utter lie. But it's Karl Rove. Who's surprised that he's lying? No one, right? Well, Elizabeth Warren isn't going to take it lying down. Now, a reporter is trying to goad her like, oh, yeah, are you with this Occupy Wall Street movement? And I think she does a great job with it. Let's watch.
So is it fair or not fair for them to link you so closely with Occupy Wall Street?
Well, you know, it's fair to say that I've been protesting Wall Street for years and years. I went to Washington in part to try to stop the bank bailout from just giving away money, no strings attached. I've gone toe-to-toe with some of the CEOs of the largest Wall Street financial firms. I've even fussed with people in our government about how they treat the biggest firms. So, yeah, I've been fighting Wall Street for a very long time.
These are your people?
Well, you know, I am glad to see lots of people start to really push on this issue.
I love that, right? She's like, look, if you want to say that I'm protesting Wall Street, have at it, Hoss. I love it. Do a campaign ad for me. You know why? Not only the people of Massachusetts, but the people of the entire United States are sick of Wall Street and their abuses. So she's like, oh, you want to try to tar me that way? Go for it. And then, of course, the anchor doing her best Karl Rove imitation. So are you with those people? So that later they can come back. If anybody does anything wrong at any Occupy, they can say, Elizabeth Warren said she's with those people. But she didn't fall for it. She didn't go along with that wording. She said, I'm with people who are, sick of the abuse of Wall Street, etc. I'm obviously paraphrasing. You just heard it for yourself. I thought she did a great job with it. One more reaction from her.
Let's face it, something's badly broken in America right now. We've got a middle class that has been hammered financially for a generation, and we've got a Washington that works only for those who can hire an army of lobbyists and an army of lawyers. And that means it's not working for the rest of us. So, yeah, I protest that. I've been worried about that. I've been working on that for a very long time.
So their mission, their philosophy, their tactics, you all agree with?
Now, let's be clear. Everybody has to follow the law. There's no exception on that. And more to the point, though, this is an independent, organic movement. We need a lot of voices saying we got to have change because it's clear Washington's not looking to change on their own, and Wall Street is going to keep pumping money into Washington, pumping it into elections to make sure that their way is the dominant way in this country. I think that's wrong.
Gosh, she's so good, man. That reporter was, Karl Rove couldn't have written her questions any better. So you agree with their mission, their philosophy, and their tactics. Can I get you on the record? So that if anybody does anything wrong at an Occupy Wall Street, we'll say, well, Elizabeth Warren said that they agrees with the tactics, And she comes back and says, look, I'm with the frustrated middle class. And we're tired of, them fixing the rules, etc. Look, and by the way, when I see her talk on the actual substantive issues, she's one of the rare people on television that gets exactly what the problem is. It isn't that we're against people making money. It's we're against them fixing the system and buying our politicians, and that people are frustrated by that because they're on the bad end of those results. And she's going to fight for them. That is why I guarantee you, groups like Crossroads GPS, run by Karl Rove, etc. All those conservative groups will spend more money against Elizabeth Warren than any other candidate. Why? Because Massachusetts is their best opportunity? No, Massachusetts is very liberal. Scott Brown is entirely not likely to lose, but probable to lose. Certainly that's a decent likelihood. Could they spend their money elsewhere and get a better bang for their buck? Of course they could. But no, that threat must be eliminated. Because ultimately, all those Republican operatives like Karl Rove, they work for the banks. And Elizabeth Warren is the biggest threat to the banks because she's pointing out that they fixed the system and they're doing their betting with our money. She must be eliminated. But she's so good, they might not be able to get her no matter how much money they spend. Great job on the part of Elizabeth Warren. I can't wait to see how that campaign is going to wind up.